going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today is a glorious day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a glorious day because I want to say this time next election. By this time next election, MSNBC may no longer exist. It may be completely gone because as we're getting ready to get into shortly, their ratings are on a free fall right now. The ratings at MSNBC is falling like a brick out of the sky. And when it comes to CNN, they already laid off hundreds of people over the summer, and they're expecting to lay off hundreds more. And a lot of these layoffs could affect some of their star personality. And we're going to jump into all of this information right now. The liberal DNC media is crashing and burning right in front of our very eyes. But this shouldn't be too surprising concerning the mainstream media press. It really shouldn't be too surprising at all because, you know, as it pertains to the citizen population concerning its trust in the media, our trust in the media has been falling at historic lows, literally year after year after year. This article here from Axios is from October 24th, 2023, which reads, Americans' trust in media plummets to historic low. And then when you fast forward to October 15th of 2024, the next Axios poll shows that media trust hits another historic low. So year after year after year, this is happening because as we all saw with the media coverage leading up until the election, the media bias against Donald Trump was so egregious. It was so egregious and beyond unfair that even those, many of you who may be on the liberal side of things, even some of you were disgusted because it was just so ridiculous and nonsensical. And those of you who may have been following MSNBC leading up until the election, well, the ratings are showing that you're not following them anymore. That you're actually most likely following Fox News now, or maybe even me at TD Media Group. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. But this article reads here, no Trump bump. And that's something that a lot of these news outlets were relying on, because throughout Donald Trump's first term in office, the ratings were through the roof when it came to fear mongering. And then once Biden came into office in 2020, the ratings plummeted because they didn't have that fear mongering from Trump to really rely on. And now post-election, they're not seeing that Trump bump come back. They've actually seen a massive decline to the tune of 50%. Let's jump into this article very quickly from Fox News. The article reads, MSNBC's reliably liberal audience has tuned out the anti-Trump network since election day, with a staggering 54% drop in primetime viewership. 54%. But let's get into how Fox News is washing them, right? MSNBC averaged 1.1 million viewers during the month of October, but plummeted to an average audience of 736,000 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, following President-elect Donald Trump's historic landslide victory over Kamala Harris, in which it was a bloodbath, right? MSNBC's remarkable 31% drop comes as Fox News Channel's viewership grew by 61% over that same time period. Wow. MSNBC is pathetic. MSNBC also shed 26% of its year-to-date totals But things got even worse in prime time. During the prime time hours of 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, MSNBC averaged 1.8 total viewers in October, but viewership of Alex Wagner Tonight, All In with Chris Hayes, and The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell averaged only 808,000. They went from 1.8 million to 808,000 total viewers since election night. The 54% drop represents more than half of the network's primetime viewers, and MSNBC is also down 51% from its year-to-date totals, while Fox News is up 58% in primetime compared to the 2024 averages. Look at all of these people here: Joy Reid, Alex Wagner, Chris Hayes, Lawrence O'Donnell. It will be a glorious day when these people are no longer on television. And it's looking like that day may come relatively soon. Not as soon as next week, but like I said, we don't know. Maybe this time next election, MSNBC will be a thing of the past that has been defunct and doesn't exist anymore. Look at this part right here. Fox News is so petty. Let me zoom in. With all things considered, Fox News goes to report MSNBC did not immediately respond to a request for comment. That is extremely petty. That is extremely petty. MSNBC did not immediately respond to a request for comment. That is hilarious. But seriously, who wants to sit around and watch garbage like this?
Rev, really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before.
The fear mongering is so crazy. Joe Scarborough doesn't even know what he's talking about anymore. This guy's rambling.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
The most racist men on the planet are Hispanic men, and the most misogynistic men on the planet are black men. And that is to blame for why Kamala Harris lost in such a horrible fashion concerning it being a landslide. But this right here, this garbage that you just listened to, is why the station is failing. This is why they're failing. Nobody wants to sit here and listen to garbage like this. Nobody wants to sit here and be belittled and berated like this, you know, for who they chose to vote for, and being told that they're racist, being told that they're misogynist, when clearly everybody voted for Donald Trump for all the right reasons concerning mainly and chiefly the economy and the migrant crisis that was created by Harris and Biden. That's literally the main two reasons why everybody ran to Trump. But they certainly don't do themselves any favor when this is the type of trash that they're airing on MSNBC. And when it comes to CNN, they're in the same boat as well. They are in the same boat as well. Though CNN isn't necessarily as bad as MSNBC, because MSNBC is really, like I've stated so many times over, MSNBC is a parody news network. But CNN is also in the same boat as well. As you see here, CNN will ask top stars in layoffs that'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank. I'm going to do you guys a favor, and I'm going to skip all the extra stuff that I have highlighted here. If you want to read this for yourself, which I always recommend you should, don't ever take my word for anything, please. If I have an article on the screen, read it for yourself, right? But I just want to get to the real meat and potatoes of it right here concerning ratings, right? The station fell from being the most watched cable news network on election nights to one of the least. In 2016, when it was headed by since ousted leader Jeff Zucker, it was the most watched network overall, a destination that's now held, or I should say a distinction that's now held by Fox News. At the time, CNN averaged 13.3 million viewers in prime time. Today, it's only 800,000. Lord have mercy. Wow. From 13 million to 800,000 is crazy. That is an insane drop off, but nobody wants to hear the nonsense anymore. Nobody wants to sit and be lied to. Nobody wants to be told that the polls are showing that Kamala Harris is in the lead and or it's tied when you all actually knew the entire time that Trump was blowing her out of the water. Nobody wants to listen to that garbage anymore. And that, alongside with a handful of other things, chiefly illegal immigration and the economy, is why Kamala Harris lost so miserably. That's why she lost so miserably, and why nobody wants to listen to these news stations anymore. And now everyone wants to go to podcasts, social media, and channels like this, TV Media Group, which I hope that you're subscribed to. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. Thank you for joining me today. And if you haven't watched today's live stream, please, I will have the live stream right here for you so you can check that out, where we discuss the resistance that's being formed against Donald Trump by way of multiple DNC governors, as well as the secret meeting at the Pentagon, in which they are essentially game planning how they can frustrate most of Trump's possible policies that he's trying to push forward. So if you haven't seen that live stream yet, please click on the video right here, and I will catch you guys later. Peace and have a great afternoon.